Hey guys, it's me again, and this is going to be a video response to Panicman10's hardest games I've played. And I'm not going to mention any of the older games back from my childhood because my memory is a bit foggy on those. I'm not going to mention games like Ghosts and Goblins or Mario Brothers 1, games like that. But I'll go with more modern day gaming. First off would be uh, Third Birthday, and this is in the oh gosh, forget what series this is in, but this is the third one. The first two are on the PS1, and I've played those before, but this is a totally different game style. It's a third-person shooter. Uh, Gosh, I cannot remember what the series is called. But anyway, whatever. This is the third one, the Third Birthday. That's the main character, Aya Bria, or something like that. Uh, anyway, it was a fun game. You pick different weapons. You can hop into different bodies to get a better angle or use different tactics on the monsters and stuff. Uh, I got maybe halfway through, maybe not even halfway through, but and I'm on this main boss, and I just cannot beat him to save my life. And it's probably because I'm using a different or the wrong kind of weapon, probably. That could be it. But had a tough time beating the boss. Not the end boss, of course, but one of the bosses that I'm at. And I put it down because I couldn't beat him. Was getting frustrated. But it's a pretty good game, though. Uh, I don't know how much it takes from the previous games because I haven't played those in like over 20 years or so, or close to it. But there's like some weird things going on in New York. Some monsters are coming in. There's like this weird tower or whatever, I remember. And you've got some SWAT guys going into different areas, helping you fight the monsters. You can pick up different weapons, machine guns and whatnot. As you take damage, your clothes tear off. And that's a good way to tell how much damage you've taken. And to prevent that, you can switch between different guys. Kind of like in that old TV show, Quantum Leap. How you can leap between different bodies, how he did. Sort of the same way. And you can use that to your advantage to either get a better angle or whatever to shoot the monsters. But I enjoyed the game. Good music, good graphics. I've got to go back and beat it one day though. But I've got tons of games I've got to beat, man. And I kind of wish the Switch wasn't a handheld because I told myself I would never buy another handheld, that the Vita was going to be it. Because my backlog is like ridiculously long. But now that the Switch is out there and I bought it, so I know I'm going to wind up with way more games, you know, that I'll never beat in my lifetime. I'm pushing 40, so, you know, yeah. So next up would be Killzone Liberation, PSP as well. This game is a top-down isometric, I guess, shooter. Good music. I've never played any of the Killzone games except the one for PS Vita, Killzone Mercenaries. That's a first-person shooter, which is really good. This one, though, is a top-down shooter, as you can see. And I think that's where the problem lies. It's not so much that the game is difficult. Well, I mean, it is, but the top-down shooter and you can't really get a good angle on your enemies sometimes, you know. And I don't know if that's because the PSP only has one thumbstick, or you know, but sometimes it's hard to get a good angle on a good sight, you know, on where the bad guys are at, or if you're throwing grenades, you can't get into the correct spot where you need to be at. So it's more of a control issue, I think, than just the enemies, you know, just being difficult, which some of them are. But I've got to beat this game. It started out really good, and it actually had some DLC with it, which I wish I would have gotten when the game came out, but I was too late on that. I think it's like one more extra mission you could download, maybe another weapon or so. But I got the game way too late, and I never bothered to download it, so I'm sure it's not that important anyway. But number 2 was Killzone. Next up would be Marvel Ultimate Alliance. This is a really good game. And maybe I just suck at it, but guys, I cannot beat the first boss in this game. I can blow through the entire level, and the first level is really long. But when it comes down to fighting that first boss, that dragon, Fing Fang Foom or something like that, he's a big green dinosaur looking thing, dragon. I cannot beat him. I don't know why. So that's why this is, you know, the third difficult game I've played. And I'm just going to chalk it up to me sucking, because number 2 is not hard at all. It's just a bit glitchy, if anything, but I recommend it though if you like action adventure games. And it's, you know, since the comic book thing is in now with the Marvel movies and the Batman movies and whatnot, I recommend it if you're into the comic book games. And the X-Men movies as well are really big now. I like to do a review of all those movies. Anyway, pretty difficult game for me anyway. At least the boss that I'm on, I can't beat him, but the game is really good though. Okay, next up is PS Vita, Batman, Arkham Origins, Blackgate, and the game isn't hard. Let me say that right off the bat. The game is not hard. What makes it hard is the blasted map. At least they give you a map, unlike Salt and Sanctuary. That game is hard because it doesn't have a map. This one is hard because it has a map, but it's so hard to read. I don't know why. But I have the same problem with Tom Clancy's Chaos Theory on the 3DS. That's a hard game to read. Not so much a game, but the map is difficult to read with it being in 3D and all. And this is the same way. It's hard to read and to figure out where you're at on the map and where you have to go on the map. But other than that, the game is not hard at all. Just trying to find the map, or read the map rather. It's a good game. It's on the 3DS and the Vita, of course, obviously. If you like the Arkham series, you can pick this one up. It's really fun. I'd like to do a video playthrough of this one day. At least the first level or so. Next up would be Unit 13 for the Vita. And this one isn't difficult to me. There's some, because they're broken up into run and gun missions, timed missions, stealth missions, and I think that's it. I could be wrong. I think there's maybe one more. But the run and gun missions are pretty good. I like those. The time missions suck because that's the bane of video games in my opinion. Timed levels. Who in their right mind ever thought of pushing somebody for time in a video game? You know? When I play video games, I like to just sit back, you know, and enjoy the story, or just enjoy what I'm doing, you know? to me, it's a way of, especially after a long day at work, just to relax. And I don't want to be pressured by time to beat a game, or to beat a level, you know. The stealth missions are good. I like those because, granted, it is trial and error, but once you go through a mission with the S or A ranking, you're like, yeah, you feel really good. But this is hard only because of the time levels. And this one I had trouble with this on the DS, and I don't know if it's because the DS I was playing with the on the DSi XL, which has no thumbstick. So I wonder if it's just because of that, the control problem, and not so much as me sucking or the game was hard. But I played it on the DSi XL on normal. I had the toughest time, I don't know why, of beating this level. I even had my buddy Panicman10 play it on the King mode, which was the highest level of difficulty you could play it on, and he breezed through it. So maybe it's just me sucking at the game. But I might go back through it and play it either on the PSP or the 3DS, and maybe they'll make the control easier. If it doesn't, then I know that I just suck at the game. But I recommend this game. I don't know anything about the actual series, the movies or the books. I have the movies 1, 2, and 3. I just haven't watched them all the way through yet. I get like halfway through of the first movie when I think I forgot the main character's name. The little hobbit gets stabbed by those ring wraiths, and forgot the character's name, but in real life her dad is a rock musician. Tyler, I forgot his name, but she's really pretty though. But anyway, she takes him on a horse and they're going to someplace, and some more ring wraiths are chasing them, and she goes through a body of water, conjures up some magic trick, and some water horses, whatever, washes them away. For some reason I always stop at that point. I don't know why. It's not that it's boring, it's not, I just fall asleep on it. But up until that point, it's a really good movie. And the scene where, God, I cannot think of the main character's name, but he's on the quest, and the scene where he gets stabbed at is also one of the challenges in this game, which is I thought was a pretty cool thing to do. But anyway, I recommend this game a lot. It's really good. So there was my 5 or 6 difficult games to play on. Alright guys, I'll see you.